My name is Dr. Rebecca Bailey, and I'm a clinical psychologist in Northern California. I've developed a program called Transitioning Families, which incorporates experiential modalities, traditional therapeutic interventions, such as family therapy, with some play, and what Tyler Sullivan calls secret sauce, which is the case specificness of each of the treatment plans for the families that come in. And the goal is to help them have the skills they need to go forward and get through whatever other challenges are ahead of them. I have a fabulous staff, which is composed of a licensed social worker with over 50 years of experience, an MFT intern, soon to be licensed, a chef who happens to be my husband. We let people know right from the gate that he's my husband, a recreational therapist, and of course the animals. The animals are a crucial part of our work, and we'll be learning more about why that is. We have had a few families that have come in with allergies who have not even been able to be on our facility, and we're able to accommodate using videos to let them get the essence of the type of work we do with the animals. We have a motto which is MAP. Mindful, authentic, and purposeful. The team is constantly collaborating, consulting with each other, and using opportunities in the environment to use interventions to get these families to be more reflective on themselves. Play is a huge part of what we do, and that's where our recreational therapists come in.
All right, this is called a slack line. Are you ready? Now wait a second, we got to go over a couple rules first. Very important. The activities that we run create an opportunity for parents to connect positively with their kids. When kids are having a good time playing, oftentimes they'll lose themselves in the game. They might relax a little bit. And the other, I think, really important piece of it is play is something that we practice. It's something that we get better at with time. The challenges of playing a game, a lot of us, parents, kids, have a hard time with losing, with being frustrated, and those things all tend to come up in recreational activities. And it gives us an opportunity to practice and talk about problem solving for those things. You can see all of the parallels to any other communication that they might be struggling with in their regular lives.
We coined the term connection-focused therapy for this type of an intervention. So it's not so much the sitting in the office and talking it through, it's getting out, getting moving, oxytocin starts flowing, people stop thinking and fixating on the projections they have on each other, and the next thing you know, they're having a good time. Curiosity, compassion, and courage is our 3 C's, which means have the compassion to understand each other's perspective, have the courage to listen to it, have the curiosity to want to understand it better. In the majority of the families that come to us with the high conflict or the complex case scenario families, we have both parents attending, no matter how badly the interactions were before. We do have a certain number of families where the custody has been cut for the favored parent. We actually find those families to be the easier families, believe it or not. And after that first day, often the rejected parent finds a connection with that child. We ask people to suspend judgment at the beginning of this weekend. We say we know we're playing with horses. We know that sometimes this will hit home and sometimes it won't. I know you're a little nervous about horses. How are you feeling?
Not that big. So,
okay.
We'll see what we can do.
So you remember your exercise. You're going to just try to bring the horse over to me, and I'll be standing here.
Okay. Gypsy, right?
One of the exercises that we use is an old standby for people in that do equine therapy, and that's the catch and approach. We choose the horses particularly to the family. Is this a family that can tolerate a horse running around like crazy? Is this a dad who's been rejected so many times that going towards a horse that runs is just going to provoke frustration? In that case, we might give him a win and give him an easier horse.
You know, she looked at me, and I think that that's a pretty good goal because she acknowledged me and she's not running away.
Frequently, we fall back on the ones that we really get the most bang for the buck. For example, the one that has to do with approaching the horse. With this one, we return to over and over again. As you can see with the mom with the black and white horse, she had quite a breakthrough with that horse.
I can just sense that she's not comfortable with me going past a a certain boundary that she set, basically, about her personal being. And as frustrating as that is, I mean, that hits home for me just with my son Jacob and how hard it is, because I want to be able to reconnect with him and I want to be able to just embrace him, but I realize that he's not at a place where he is willing to allow me to do that in the way that I want to do it. And that's really hard.
Really got her to think outside of that arena into how she might be able to approach her son differently. We do an exercise we call Getting to Know You. What that involves is family members observing the horses and ascribing certain characteristics to the horses that remind them of family members. Frequently, this may be the first time that there's a lightening up that we feel with the family. Let's start with the black and white horse. Can you throw out a couple words that you circled? We've actually done this exercise in a dog park. With dogs, we videoed the dogs, and then we showed this video to the family where there were extreme allergies, and they quickly did the same thing. The take the horse away exercise is very, very, very powerful. One of the reasons we use it is because I do believe that often systems around families where there's been a loss, which those of us that work in the field understand that divorce is a loss, but it's easy to lose sight of it. So we use that to let people see the impact of somebody's child being away from them. It's a very painful one, but it's a very, very powerful one. With some families that it's too intense, for example, where maybe there's been an abduction or a major death, what we might do is show a horse that doesn't react that strong and talk about that ability to part and then come back together. Food is a major part of our program, not only because we're lucky enough to have a great chef, but because we believe very firmly that gathering around the hearth, the family table, is not only a great activity for families, it's a very positive way to connect.
In our situation here at Transitioning Families, a lot of times the kids haven't sat with dad or mom in possibly years. Cooking is such a gift to make something and to bring it to the table and set it on the table. It's such a beautiful gift, whether it's coming from a child and setting it down for mom and dad. And to see that reaction on mom and dad's face, or even the kid bringing it, how proud they are of that food. You know, having that meal together is another branch of the kitchen, and extending and sitting down with food and sharing time together that possibly hasn't happened in a long time in their family.
See if you can move these families to disengaging from the conflict, more actively problem solving, being curious with each other, asking questions, lightening up, and moving forward, and most importantly, taking responsibility for their own actions within the family system and understanding from the smallest kid up their piece of the puzzle that has kept them locked into this engagement.